For decades, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad was seen as one of Israel's fiercest critics. As Iran's president from 2005 to 2013, he repeatedly attacked Israel in speeches and became one of the most recognizable faces of the Islamic Republic. But now, a stunning report has triggered one of the biggest political controversies in Iran and in the Middle East. Well, according to a report by New York Times, Iranian authorities believe Ahmadinejad may have maintained secret links with Israel's intelligence agency Mossad. In fact, this report claims he has been placed under house arrest after an internal investigation which uncovered his alleged contacts with Israeli intelligence. Now, even more sensationally, the report says Mossad once explored the possibility of using Ahmadinejad as part of a future political transition in Iran. And if these claims are true, they would completely overturn the public image of a man who spent years projecting himself as one of Israel's loudest opponents. But if they are false, they could be part of a much larger political battle unfolding inside Iran itself. Well, these are extraordinary allegations. They have not been independently verified yet, and there has been no official confirmation from either Israeli or Iranian authorities. That means the claims should be treated with absolute caution. However, they have sparked intense debate because of what they could mean for Iran's leadership and the shadow war between Tehran and Tel Aviv. So, was Iran's former president secretly working with Mossad, or is this another chapter in Iran's internal power struggle? Come along as we answer these very questions in this very video. But at the first glance, the idea sounds unbelievable. Ahmadinejad built his political career on confronting the West and Israel. During his presidency, Iran accelerated its nuclear program, relations with Washington collapsed, and tensions with Israel reached new highs. His speeches often dominated global headlines, and he became one of the most controversial leaders in the Middle East. So why would Mossad even consider him? According to reports, Israeli intelligence allegedly view Ahmadinejad differently after he left office. Over years, his relationship with Iran's ruling establishment became increasingly strained. He even openly criticized powerful figures within the regime itself and repeatedly challenged decisions made by then Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Now, this growing divide reportedly changed how some intelligence analysts viewed him. Rather than seeing him simply as a former hardline president, they allegedly viewed him as someone who could eventually become a useful political figure if Iran entered a period of instability. The report claims Mossad's objective was not simply to recruit an intelligence source, but eventually to support Ahmadinejad as a possible transitional leader if Iran's current power structure weakened. Now, whether such an ambitious operation was ever realistic remains uncertain, but it is a routine for intelligence agencies to study influential politicians, military commanders, and business leaders in rival nations. But that does not necessarily mean they succeeded in recruiting them. Still, the very suggestion that one of Iran's former presidents became part of Mossad's long-term strategic thinking is enough to send shockwaves through Tehran's political establishment. Now, the timing is perhaps even more interesting than the allegations themselves. Iran is passing through one of the most uncertain phases in its recent history. Military tensions, economic sanctions, domestic political divisions, and growing question over country's future leadership have all increased pressure on the government. Now, according to this very report, Iranian investigators allegedly uncovered evidence pointing towards secret contact involving Ahmadinejad, leading to restriction on his movement and reports of house arrest. At the same time, information about the alleged Mossad-Ahmadinejad connection is surfacing amid wider discussion about Iran's future leadership, as Mujtaba Khamenei has not made a public appearance yet since becoming the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic. Now, that raises an important question. Is this purely an intelligence story, or is it also a political story? Well, some analysts believe intelligence allegations often emerge during moments of such political uncertainty because rival factions attempt to weaken each other. In fact, throughout history, governments have accused opponents of collaborating with foreign intelligence agencies, sometimes with solid evidence and sometimes without it. Iran itself has frequently announced the arrest of alleged Mossad agents over the years. Israel, on the other side, has been long accused by Tehran of carrying out covert operations, assassinations, and cyber attacks inside Iran. Now, against that very backdrop, allegations involving a former president naturally attract enormous attention. But without independently verified evidence, it remains impossible to determine whether these reports reveal a genuine espionage case or are connected to a broader political rivalries unfolding behind closed doors. Now, this story raises far bigger questions than the fate of a former president. If Mossad genuinely attempted to cultivate Ahmadinejad, it would represent one of Israel's boldest intelligence operations against Iran. If Iranian authorities genuinely believe he maintained secret contacts, it would expose serious vulnerabilities inside the Islamic Republic. But there is also another possibility. The allegations themselves could serve political purposes. Public accusations of espionage can damage reputation, eliminate political rivals, and reinforce the narrative that foreign intelligence agencies are constantly trying to infiltrate Iran's leadership. And such claims also send a strong message to other politicians that any perceived disloyalty could carry serious consequences. In fact, at the same time, intelligence agencies often conduct influence operations designed not only to gather information but also to create confusion, mistrust, and uncertainty inside rival governments. Now, in modern espionage, psychological warfare can sometimes be as valuable as secret intelligence itself. So far, there is no independently verified evidence proving Ahmadinejad worked with Mossad. There has also been no public confirmation from Israeli officials regarding the alleged recruiting effort. What exists today are reports based on unnamed sources and intelligence claims that remain very difficult to verify independently. That makes caution essential before drawing any final conclusions. Yet, whether fully accurate or not, the story reveals one undeniable reality. The battle between Israel and Iran is increasingly becoming a shadow war fought through intelligence operations, influence campaigns, cyber warfare, and political maneuvering deep inside each other's system. And even if a former Iranian president can become the subject of such explosive allegation, it shows just how intense and unpredictable that shadow war has actually become. Simply because in today's Middle East, the most dangerous battles are not always fought on the battlefields. Sometimes they are fought in secret, hidden behind intelligence files, political intrigue, and claims that blur the line between fact, perception, and psychological warfare. Well, with that, it's a wrap on this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm Yash Goel signing off for Times Now Digital. Until next time, take care and keep watching this space for more such videos.